Sawadee krap, I'm JP Mestanza. It's the end of the week. It's Friday, September 22nd. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by pbcphuket.com. Tourism officials at the Phuket International Airport are patting themselves on the back for what seems like a plot right out of the movie The Terminal, in which a Russian man spent 14 days in the international terminal at the airport here on the island after missing his return flight, and he had to wait until funds were arranged to get him another flight back home.
The story of the stranded Russian tourist who spent 14 days at the Phuket International Airport after missing his return flight was published on the TAC page on Facebook on Thursday. The man was identified in the publication only as Mr. Oleg. No further details about his identity were provided. Officials stated that Oleg arrived as a tourist, but missed his return flight earlier this month, and staff at the airport reportedly found him in the international terminal in distress and heavily intoxicated. He had no money to buy a new ticket straight away or to support himself while his relatives were arranging tickets for him. For the next 2 weeks, airport personnel, TAC officials, and Phuket tourist police officers jointly took care of Mr. Oleg. They bought him food at the airport and even took him to Talang Hospital when he had an eye infection, and he was prescribed eye drops, and someone at the airport actually helped administer it to him. On Thursday, Oleg thanked everyone for the help provided, and he flew back to Russia on a flight paid by his relatives. It's yet to be revealed why Phuket officials had not made the story public and requested support from the Russian community before Mr. Oleg's departure from Phuket. Oddly enough, this was not the first time Oleg missed his flight and got stranded at the airport, according to the TAC. The Facebook post clearly states that the man was known to officials, as he'd already been in a similar situation at the end of 2022, just last year. In a statement, the TAC said, "The Tourist Assistance Center does not have a budget to support tourists financially. Assistance in each case depends on the work conditions, behavior, and consent of the tourists to cooperate." For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin made it clear this week that his government is looking to amend the current cannabis policy and rein in unregulated cannabis shops and dispensaries nationwide within 6 months to ensure it would only be used for medicinal purposes.
The premier made the remarks during an interview with Bloomberg this week, and they fall in line with his earlier disagreements of allowing the recreational use of cannabis in Thailand. Last year, Thailand became the first country in Asia to decriminalize cannabis when it removed it from its Category 5 narcotics list. The original goal of decriminalization, championed by the Boomjai Thai Party in the previous coalition government, specifically Anutin Chamvinakul, was to promote cannabis for medicinal use and as an economic crop with applications including medicine, food, and beverage production, according to the Bangkok Post. However, the lack of a law meant that recreational use also flourished, with thousands of weed dispensaries opening in Bangkok, Phuket, Pattaya, and tourist centers across the country. A law to properly regulate the business side failed to pass the previous government's term. The latest comments by the Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin, which did not give definitive details on how this would be achieved, is being lauded by some tourist operators in Phuket. The president of the southern chapter of the Thai Hotels Association stated that hotels totally agree with the government if it limits cannabis usage to only medicinal purposes. He said most hotels have to prohibit smoking weed in their room as it disturbs other guests, especially families with children. He went on to say, quote, "If the government closes cannabis shops, it would not affect the tourism business. Phuket posted steady growth even before cannabis was liberalized." While the Prime Minister now has given a 6-month timetable for when he would like to eliminate the recreational use of cannabis and bring all cannabis shops and dispensaries in line with the law, it's unclear what regulatory mechanisms and laws would be used to achieve this. For more, visit the link in the description.
I was sure that it'll be easier to clear you from my mind. I wish you fall out from the window, take a bad trip to the ground. Ooh. And bring the pleasure, see your pressure just before you break a bone.
Island officials and tourism operators are hoping for an influx of travelers from both China and Kazakhstan in the coming months as the new visa-free policy for both countries goes into effect next week.
The policy was officially announced in the Royal Gazette on Tuesday, meaning it will become law from effective this Monday, September 25, until February 29, and allow for easier entry and 30-day visa-free stays for both Chinese and Kazakh nationals. The head of the Phuket Chamber of Commerce said he believes more Chinese tourists are expected to help the industry recover, as their numbers have already rebounded to 30% of pre-pandemic levels. Officials say that the visa-free policy will more likely benefit individual travelers in the early weeks, while those traveling in tour groups have to wait 1 to 2 months because tourism operators will not fully resume their package sales if they are uncertain about sufficient demand. A TAT, or Tourism Authority of Thailand executive who requested anonymity, said a visa-free policy would have a limited impact if the number of airline seats does not expand from 400,000 seats in the final quarter. In terms of Kazakh tourists, which is the fastest growing market for Thailand, the TAT expects their numbers this year to reach record highs of 180,000 to 200,000 visitors to Thailand. So far this year, Thailand has welcomed just over 108,000 tourists from Kazakhstan, up from just 56,000 in 2019, an increase of 50%. Scheduled flights between Thailand and Kazakhstan from October will be increased to 14 per week, divided equally between Bangkok and Phuket, with a further 10 chartered weekly flights from first and second tier cities in Kazakhstan expected this winter, according to officials. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
The light precipitation experienced by Phuket today, September 22nd, is likely to intensify into heavy to very heavy rain over the weekend, according to the warning issued by the Thai Meteorological Department, the TMD.
From Saturday, September 23rd through to Tuesday, September 26th, the southwest monsoon over the upper Andaman Sea and southern Thailand's west coast is expected to intensify, with heavy to very heavy rain expected in Phuket and the nearby provinces. The Marine Department was more specific in its warning, targeting boat operators. According to the agency, waves in the Andaman Sea from Saturday through Wednesday will average 2 meters, but can reach 6 meters in thunderstorm areas. All boats operating in the area are urged to exercise caution when setting sail and to avoid sailing during thunderstorms. Small boats are being told to refrain from leaving the shore. During the most recent period of rough seas, a small boat capsized near Ko Eo, a small island located to the east of Phuket. Out of the 4 fishermen on board, 2 were rescued and 2 drowned. Following the incident, the Phuket Provincial Fisheries Chief issued a special statement calling for all operators of all small fishing boats and those carrying tourists to observe weather warnings and to remain ashore when advised. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
Thank you so much for joining us today and ending your week with us at Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend out there. Until Monday, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000 and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.